Okay. Only I said to that I will explain it. Where is the sixth question? Yeah. If A, B, and C are interior angles of a triangle ABC, then show that sine of B plus C upon 2 equals to cos A by 2. So what is the property of triangle related to angles? What property satisfy? Your complement lines are deleted, so it will come in the exam. I think last class only I said, dear Lakshay. Even in the syllabus also I mentioned questions will not be the deleted portion. But those who go for class 11th maths, they need those topics. These late comers are always late. So what is the property of the angles of a triangle? Is there any property related to angle for a triangle? Yes. Regarding the angles of a triangle, sum of all angles is 180. Okay, they are given that A, B, C are three angles. So A plus B plus C is equals to 180 degrees. Now I'll keep B plus C this side, which is equals to 180 minus A. Divide with 2 on both the sides. Let's see what we get. Why I'm dividing is I want B plus C by 2 and A by 2. So that upon 2 I'll get by just dividing with 2 on both the sides. That is B plus C upon 2 equals to 180 minus A upon 2. 180 minus A upon 2. So this 180 upon I can split into two fractions, that is 180 upon minus A upon 2. So this will be A upon 2. So we can write this as 180 upon 2 is 90. Sorry, 90 minus A upon 2 I'll keep as it is. So finally I got it as B plus C upon 2 is equals to 90 minus A upon 2. If I apply sine on both the sides, if I find the sine value of both the angles, then I get sine of B plus C. Actually, let me see. Sine of B plus C upon 2. Also I'll get equals to of 90 minus A by 2. Because both the angles are equal, then the corresponding trigonometric values are also will be equal. Sine 90 minus theta. What is the formula for sine 90 minus theta? Which is cos theta. That's what the formula we discussed. So it will be cos A by. So this is what we have to prove. Sine B plus C by 2 equals to cos A by 2. And some property, some always. So here you will get what property I use, angle sum property of the triangle. Sum of the angles is 180. So in the question, we want B plus C one side and A angle is another side. So that's why I kept B plus C on the left side only. I sent A on the right hand side. It will become 180 minus A. Then in the question, I want B plus C by 2. So I divided with both the sides with 2. B plus C by 2 equals to 180 minus A by 2. For this fraction 180 minus A by 2, I can separate the denominator, which can be written as 180 by 2 minus A by 2. So this is the separating the denominator. If I take the LCM for this term, I'll go back to this step because here LCM will be 2 only. So I'll get 180 minus A upon 2. But here I cancel 2 with 180 as 90 times. So 90 minus A by 2. So I got B plus C by 2 is equals to 90 minus A by 2. So here I want sine of B plus C by 2. So you want sine of B plus C by 2. Now I know the angle. B plus C by 2 is an angle. 90 minus A by 2 is also an angle. So if I find the sine values of both the angles, then the corresponding values also will be equal. If angles are equal, then the trigonometric values also will be equal. So sine B plus C by 2 equals to sine 90 minus A by 2. So sine 90 minus A by 2 is sine 90 minus theta formula is cos theta. So here theta is A by 2. So cos theta means cos A by 2. So this is about question number 6 on that exercise. That exercise is 8.3. Okay, so till now we discussed about 3 topics. One is the trigonometric definitions, another one is the trigonometric values for particular angles, and the third topic is complementary angles. Now we'll move to the important one, trigonometric identities. Okay, so before I go to trigonometric identities, let me insert the right angle triangle and shapes. This is right angle triangle. Okay, so we are taking a right angle triangle. You can name it as A, and 90 degrees at B, and here on the top it is C. So we have a right angle triangle ABC, right angle at B. So if I take theta at A, angle at A, so just let me know what is the definitions of sine A. Equals to opposite side is BC, hypotenuse is AC. Okay. Now I'll go for cos A equals to, definition of cos A is adjacent upon hypotenuse. So here adjacent is AB upon AC. So now let me find the value of sin square A plus cos square A plus cos square A. So what do I get? Sin square A plus cos square A is, let me substitute the values. So here I'll put the bracket. Now sin A value we have is BC upon AC. So I'll write here it as BC upon AC whole square. Just I'm substituting sin A definition and cos A definition. Now here I'll get cos A is AB upon AC whole square. Okay. So next step what we do is, which is equals to, you can write here it as, you can split it actually. Also I'll put here BC upon AC whole square. You can write this as BC square upon AC square. So here I'm just opening the bracket, like A upon B whole square is A square upon B square. That was the formula which we had. So here also AB upon AC whole square you have for this term. So if I open the bracket, I'll get AB square AC square. This is equals to, if I take the LCM for these two terms, my denominator is, both the terms have the same denominator, which will be AC square. So we can keep here AC square as the LCM. So in the numerator you will get BC square BC square then plus AB square plus BC square plus AB square. Now after writing this, equals to, look at the triangle BC square, that is perpendicular square plus AB square. If I talk about the numerator, BC square plus AB square, according to the Pythagoras theorem, it will become AC square only. Okay, so that means numerator also we are going to get AC square, and the denominator also is already AC square only. And here also it is AC square. So AC square upon AC square will be 1. So we have the formula sin square theta plus cos square theta equals to 1. Or you can write sin square A plus cos square A equals to 1. A can be any angle between 0 to, from 0 to 90. It can be 0 also, it can be 90 also, it can be any value. So first identity we got it as sin square A plus cos square A equals to 1. So let me write here identity 1. Square A plus cos square A equals to 1. Is that identity clear for everyone? Yes. So similarly, we can derive another identities also. What I do is, from the first identity, I'll take as it is the first identity. Here I'll write divide with cos square A. Divide with cos square A on both sides. Divide with cos square A on both the sides. Let me insert the equation. So what we get here is, let me put the fraction. So here numerator will get as sin square A. I'm dividing each and every term with, here, just a minute. I have to take exponentials only. This will be square A. Denominator will become cos square A. And dividing each and every term with cos square A. So sin square A upon cos square A. Next time we already have cos square A in the numerator, so I can divide denominator also with cos square A. So I'll get cos square A upon cos square A is equals to 1 upon square A. So this is what divide with cos square A on both the sides. Each and every time add sin square upon cos square upon cos square, 1 upon cos square. Now then it will become sin upon cos is, what is the formula for sin upon cos? Sin upon cos is tan, correct? Sin square A upon cos square A, so it will come as tan square A. And this is not cos, this is tan square A will come here, then plus cos square upon cos square, which will be 1, which is equals to 1 upon cos is, what is 1 upon cos? Sec. So it will come as, I think I have insert the equation, sec square A. 1 upon cos is sec. So it is cos square, you will get sec square A. So this is another identity. Generally in the textbook they will write it as identities. Sec square A minus tan square A. Just this is same as above one only, but I am putting 1 on the right side, bringing this tan square A to right hand side. Plus tan square A will become minus tan square A. So sec square A minus tan square A equals to 1. So this is identity number 2. If I divide with first equation itself, I am considering. We'll take again first equation as it is, sin square A plus cos square A equals to 1. So here what we have done is, in the previous question we divided cos square A. Now what I do is divide with sin square A on both the sides. Instead of cos square A, divide with cos square sin square A on both the sides. So in place of cos, write it as sin square A. So can you simplify and tell me what will come exactly? Divide with sin square A on both the sides. I'll take the same step and I'll replace it so that it is easy for me. Sin square A upon, we will get sin square A plus cos square A upon sin square A to 1 upon sin square A. Dividing each and every term with sin square A, sin up. So here you have sin square upon sin square, cos square upon sin square, 1 upon sin square. So this is what I'll get it. So if I simplify, sin square upon sin square is 1 plus, what about cos upon sin? Cos upon sin is cot. Yes. So I'll get it as get cot square A equals to 1 upon sin is cosec square. We can rewrite this formula as cosec square A minus cot square A equals to 1. So these both I will use in different way as per the requirement. Cosec square A minus cot square A is equals to 1. So these are the three identities. All these three identities we will use multiple times with a different example. And we can use not only in the same way. If I have, for example, sin square A plus cos square A equals to 1, I can rewrite this as sin square A equals to 1 minus cos square A, or cos square A equals to 1 minus sin square A. That way also we can write. Okay. So here I have the identity as sec square A minus tan square A equals to 1. So somewhere I found that sec square A, then I can write sec square A as 1 plus tan square A. Or somewhere I find tan square. I can bring tan square this side, 1 to the left side. So it will become sec square A minus 1 equals to tan square A. So it is very difficult for us to remember all those formulas. What we do is we remember only these three formulas. Whenever we require, we can rearrange them, whatever the value is required. Okay. So first formula is sin square A plus cos square A equals to 1. Second formula is sec square A minus tan square A equals to 1. And third formula is cosec square A minus cot square A equals to 1. Even somewhere if I find 1, that 1 I can replace with any of these three identities. 1 can be replaced with sin square A plus cos square A. 1 can be replaced with sec square A minus tan square A. Or 1 can be replaced with cosec square A minus cos square A. Depending on the question, depending on the requirement, I have to prove in the RHS, what they have given in the LHS. Depending on all considering, we'll decide what to be used. There is no formula, there is no shortcut. Depending on the question, we have to decide. This is where some of the students feel difficulty because they are unable to decide which one to use. Okay, so these three trigonometric identities we discussed. In the textbook, they are given with the help of triangle, but we solve with the dividing with cos square A or dividing with sin square A. That's how we solve. But in the textbook, they use this A, B, B, C, A, C values. Both the ways you get the same answers. Okay, let me take one example. Express the ratios cos A, tan A, and sec A in terms of sin A. That means I have to write cos A equals to, in terms of sin A, tan A equals to, I can write tan as sin upon cos. But I should not have cos. In place of that cos also, it should be in terms of sin only. Similarly, sec A is also, sec A, I know the formula of sec A is 1 upon cos. But I don't want in terms of cos. I want sec A equals to something in terms of sin. So let's see, how do we get it? Everything is in terms of sin, right? Okay. So first identity I will take sin square A plus cos square A equals to 1. Okay. After taking the first identity, we want everything in terms of sin only. So what we do is, I take cos square A equals to, first I will try to find cos in terms of sin. Cos square A equals to 1 minus sin square A. Can I do that? Minus sin square A. Just I forwarded this left hand side sin square A to the right hand side, so it will become minus sin square A. So now I want cos value. Let me insert the equation. So if square is there, if I want to remove square, I have to do square root on both the sides. So I'll get cos A is equals to under root 1 minus sin square A. So I got cos A value as under root 1 minus sin square A. So cos A is represented in terms of sin, because your LHS is complete in terms of sin only. Next one is I have to represent tan A. Tan A is also in terms of sin. Tan A equals to, let this as cos A upon tan A upon cos A, not cos upon sin. This is tan A upon cos A. So we have done it. What they ask, tan is in terms of sin. So tan is in terms of sin is already numerator is sin A only. So I don't do anything with that sin A. But denominator I have cos A. This cos A has to be replaced with sin term. We already have cos A as under root 1 minus sin A. So here also I'll keep this as under root 1 minus sin A. You see, tan A equals to sin A upon under root 1 minus sin A. So tan is also in terms of sin only. This is what they mean that represent tan, cos, sec. Now next one is sec A. So you have sec A equals to, you can write this as 1 upon cos A. Just a minute, I think. Yes. Sec A equals to 1 upon cos A. You can put this as 1 upon 1 minus sin square A. So sec is also in terms of sin only. Cos is in terms of sin, tan is in terms of sin, sec is also in terms of sin. Even you can represent cot is also in terms of sin. Okay, cosec is already 1 upon sin only. Is that clear for everyone? Yeah. But some of them already given the answers. That's fine. Good. Okay. Next, I'll go for next question. Prove that sec A into 1 minus sin A into sec A plus tan A. So let me copy the next example. Insert the equation. Here I have sec A into 1 minus sin A is equal to 1 minus sin A sec A plus tan A. Sec A plus A equals to 1. This is I have to prove. If I simplify LHS, this entire term, I will get the answer as 1. So in all these such questions, what we do is first we'll write LHS. That means I am considering the LHS. LHS equals to, you consider only this much. Okay, sec A into 1 minus sin A into sec A plus tan A. So now, which is equals to, let me insert the equation again. Sec A, you can write it as 1 upon cos A. It can be written as 1 upon cos A multiplied by, next one I'll keep as it is, 1 minus sin A multiplied by, next bracket I'll simplify. How do I simplify is sec A, I'll write it as 1 upon cos A plus, and A can be written as sin A upon cos A. Can we do that? Sec can be written as 1 upon cos, tan can be written as sin upon cos, which is equals to, again, let me insert the equation. So what we do here is I'll multiply these two things. Numerator I'll keep 1 minus sin A upon cos A, because cos A is in the denominator. So this numerator 1 will multiply with 1 minus sin A. So it is 1 into 1 minus sin A is 1 minus sin A upon cos A multiply with, now in this bracket, this entire bracket I am talking about. So I'll go for the LCM. If I go for the LCM, my LCM is going to be cos A. Both the denominators are cos A, so LCM is also cos A. So numerator, what you get? 1 plus sin A, which is equals to, let me insert the equation again. Now you multiply, because there is a multiplication between the two terms. This is first term multiplying with second term. So if I multiply, let's see what you get. Let me insert the fraction. In the denominator, you have cos A into cos A. Cos A into cos A will be cos square A. In the numerator is 1 minus sin A into 1 plus sin A. Which identity you can use here? A minus B into A plus B. What is the formula of A minus B into A plus B? Anyone remember? Class 9th. A square minus B square. Perfect. So A minus B square means here A is 1, 1 square is 1 only. Minus B square means here B is sine, so I'll get square A. So 1 minus sin square A upon cos square A. So just now we discussed, can you tell me what is 1 minus sin square A? We have sin square A plus cos square A equals to 1. This is our first identity, sin square plus cos square equals to 1. If I send this sin square A to the right hand side, it will become 1 minus sin square A is nothing but cos square A. Okay, so 1 minus sin square A is nothing but cos square. Achha, no need of that all. Numerator also will become cos square A, and denominator also will become cos square A. So cos square A upon cos square A is 1. Okay, so which is equals to LHS, right hand side. So left hand side equals to right hand side. LHS equals to RHS. That's what they have to do, right? They have to prove this entire answer will be equals to 1. So we got the entire answer as 1. This example clear? So in this example, what I have done is I converted everything in terms of sine and cos wherever it is required. Sec I converted as 1 upon cos. In sec I converted as 1 upon cos. And I have written as sine and cos. Okay. After converting, then I use the all trigonometric formulas, algebraic formulas. In class 9th, whatever the formulas you studied in polynomial chapter, a plus b whole square, a minus b whole square, a plus b whole cube, a minus b whole cube, then you studied a cube plus b cube, then you studied a cube minus b cube. Okay, all these formulas, a plus b into a minus b, all these formulas are going to use, we are going to use in this trigonometric chapter. So by next class, what I suggest to you is everyone recall those formulas or note down somewhere. We are going to use multiple times, many times. I suggest you all to remember. The next one is prove that cot A minus cos A upon cot A plus cos A equals to cosec A minus 1 upon cosec A plus 1. Cot and cos. Okay, next example I will take. Let me write first what we have to prove. Cot A minus cos A upon A plus cos A is equals to cosec A cosec A minus 1, I think. A minus 1 upon cosec A plus 1. Cosec A plus 1. So this is what you have to prove. Solution. Consider LHS equals to. You may ask why you are starting always with LHS only. You can try with RHS also. That also will give you the answer. So let me copy the LHS. LHS is equals to. Also the same process converted into whatever the terms are there, converted into sine and cos. What you can write as cos A upon sine A minus cos A. Again, cot A is there. You can write it as cos A upon sine A plus cos A converted into the fraction. So here cos A is there. You can write cos A as upon 1. Here also cos A is there. You can write this as cos A upon 1. Just by putting the space over. We can put upon 1, right? There is no problem by keeping upon 1. So what we do here now is we are going for LCM in the numerator as well as in the denominator. So if I take LCM in the numerator, I'm talking about in the numerator in the sense, let me highlight only this much. Okay, only the one which is colored with red, that we call it as numerator, and which is in the black that we call as the denominator. Okay, so for this term, my LCM is going to be, here you will get cos A minus cos A multiplied by sin A. When it comes to the denominator means this black color one, the highlighted one. So denominator also my LCM is going to be sin A only. So here what you get is cos A plus, here also you will get cos A multiplied by, this is what we get LCM. LCM is clear for everyone. Right? So what happens here is this denominator sin A, let me highlight with a color. This denominator and the denominator of this one, both are sin A. So both will get cancelled, sin A and sin A. Numerator what you have is cos A minus cos A into sin A. That is what I left out. The denominator is cos A plus cos A into sin A. This is what it is. You may use that reciprocal option also. Your reciprocal also will take the same. Now in the numerator, what you can do is you can take, you see here, cos A is there. Numerator I'm talking about only this one. If cos A is there, here also cos A into sin A. So I can take cos A common from both the terms. If I take cos A common, you will get 1 minus sin A. Okay. In the denominator also you can take cos A common, then you will get 1 plus if you want you can multiply, then you'll go back to the cos A into 1 is cos A, then cos A into sin A is cos A sin A. So that will come. Why I'm keeping 1 here it is because cos A can be written as cos A into 1. If you want you can put 1 instead. Any number will be divided by 1, any number will be multiplied by 1. So here also you can put multiply by 1. So cos A into 1, cos A into sin A. So if I take cos A common, you get 1 minus sin A. Now what happens is in both the numerator and denominator, cos A will get cancelled. Okay. So after cos A get cancelled, then what you have is in the numerator you left out with 1 minus sin A, 1 plus sin A. So you can give this as LHS. Now go for RHS done. This is another way of solving. Another way in the sense I solved LHS, I got the sum answer. From here itself you can reach RHS, but I feel that you may face the difficulty. So I'll take the RHS. Okay. Which is equals to, this is my RHS is given. So cosec A. Cosec A you can write as 1 upon A. This is cosec A. Next one. The denominator also you have cosec A. That also can be written as 1 upon sin A. This one. What we do here is, again we'll take the LCM in the numerator and LCM in the denominator. Here also fraction will come. Here also fraction will come. So numerator in the sense, I am talking about this much. So if you want, let me put the writing. So it is highlighted with the red color, that is the numerator. So LCM will be sin A. Here you will get minus A. In the denominator also LCM will be sin A. Here you will get 1 plus, again both the sin A's will get cancelled. Okay. After cancelling both the sin A's in the denominator, so I left out with 1 minus sin A. Here I left out 1 plus sin A. So your RHS also giving the answer as 1 minus sin A upon 1 plus sin A. Your LHS also given the same answer, 1 minus sin A upon 1 plus sin A. Hence, LHS equals to RHS. Is this clear for everyone? Yes. Everyone is understood. Great.